So much of what we call reality actually happens in the spaces between this life and the next. Cameron Stiles, Pirate King. This is a recording of The Spaces in Between, as read and written by Chase Henderson. A warning. Subject line: ATTN to all of creation. From line: Sananda at ashtarcommand.gal. To line: all. Carbon copy line: everyone and everything. All things, big and small, from all walks of life, are to be on high alert. Chokma awareness, if you so have the intergalactic security chart. The recent exploits of the dread pirate Cameron have come to our attention. We ask the following precautions are taken while we apprehend this villain. Number 1. Do not speak the name of the dread pirate Cameron. He is able to hear his name spoken from any distance. From this moment forth, he will be referred to as the Pirate King. Number 2. The Pirate King can lie in any and all ways, in thought, appearance, etc. Number 3. The Pirate King can steal anything. After the theft of an entire Andromedan star system, he is not to be underestimated. No eye-collar, artifact, planet, soul, free will, idea, dream, etc. is safe from the Pirate King. Number 4. If you have any suspicions that the Pirate King is in your solar system, do not approach, glance at, or talk to the Pirate King. Most likely, if you suspect nothing, then he's already there. Please report anything suspicious and unsuspicious to your star system's Ashtar representative. The contents of this message are highly confidential and shall be stored deep within the collective subconscious. From the desk of Lord Sananda, head of the Ashtar Command. The butterfly flag, please. If a mouse so much as farts on the astral, it could set things in motion to destroy several realities. That's probably true, too. Cameron Stiles, Pirate King. Prologue, in which a chance meeting during a coma sets it all in motion. Warren Elliott stirred from his 2-day coma. He clenched his eyes as he ran over the events in his cloudy mind. This was the delicate time while waking up where one tries to shuffle their thoughts into 2 categories: memories or dreams. A time where one could actually believe that they had woken up as an insect before they remember who they truly are. Occasionally, dreams slip through this filter, and Hollywood religions are born. The eye boogers cracked as Warren opened his eyes. The room was such a sterile-looking off-white that when the light reflected off it, his atrophied eyes could barely make out his surroundings. Warren flinched and looked away. For a moment he slipped back into his dreams. This was nowhere near as bright as the white he had seen. In his dreams, Warren Elliott had seen black and white in their purest form. Light and nothing. He took a deep breath and squinted into the brightness. The dark shapes of the life support machines leaned against the walls. Their beeping finally registered in his mind as he realized he'd been hearing them all through his dreaming. He jumped when he spotted the dark shape heaving at the end of his bed. Warren regretted catching the shape's attention. He feared that the shape was one of those dark amalgamations that haunted H.P. Lovecraft's dreams. After a significant squinting, the amalgamation revealed her to be the ordinary beauty of Janet Rockbell. His fiancée's face was striped with black streams of mascara. She was still beautiful. The fact that she would even stay with Warren made her more beautiful to him. He was in no way a looker. His body was in the final stages of programmer's ass, an ailment common amongst computer programmers who are rarely able to leave their computer. Those afflicted with this ailment suffer from an ass at least 40 pounds overweight. Like most programmers, he had grown a beard in a vain attempt to establish a chin line, only to result in the further stigma of neckbeard. What happened? He knew damn well what happened. We were on the phone, Janet said. You were T-boned by a Hummer. Liar. You mean while we were arguing on the phone? I stopped in the middle of the freeway. He could clearly see what had happened playing in the small theater of his mind. They were arguing about finances. He could make more money working at Best Buy. But he was a programmer, goddammit. At one time, he forged the dot-com boom with millions of strings of code. Then the bubble popped. No one wanted a programmer without a degree, which is just a nice way of saying we don't want anyone associated with the dot-com crash. Hateful words were exchanged, like motherfucker and cunt. Both were classics in destroying any kind of relationship. Janet hung up on him, wishing she had an older phone, so she could have slammed it back on the cradle. Warren scrambled to call her back. He screamed her name into the Bluetooth headset. His cell phone, seated next to him, reported in the voice of a monotone, robotic female that it was dialing one of his clients. Okay, his only client. The owner of an Australian website which provided 24-hour streaming ostrich shows to subscribers. Warren glanced away for a moment to hit the cancel button on his phone before the Birdman's phone rang. But what happened next was very unclear, and it was fading fast. Warren spotted his handheld tape recorder sticking out of Janet's purse. He intended to grab it, but nothing worked. He used it to record any important thoughts, so the uses were few and far between. He was worse off when he lost the damn thing, which was more often than not. He was amazed to see that it was intact, but surmised that he probably left it at the apartment. Janet, I need you to get out my tape recorder. I need you to turn it on. She looked at the tape recorder in her purse. It had been her only source of his voice for nearly 48 hours. Please, quickly. This is the dream I had while I was out. 2. I don't remember much about when the Hummer hit me, so I was probably out immediately. I do remember seeing the doctors working on me. I was floating above them. No, don't give me that look. It was a dream, of course. You know, it's incredibly common that when someone visualizes themselves, it's from above. Anyway, I felt almost a tugging at me. I followed it far away. I soon realized that I was no longer even on Earth anymore. It wasn't heaven or hell. I wasn't anywhere. I was surrounded by nothing, absolutely nothing. It was the purest black I had ever seen. There was nothing, but I don't think you're getting how black it was. I don't think I have words to ever get you to understand. This is what H.P. Lovecraft was trying to say when something was indescribable. He was talking about his dreams, you know. I was seeing what Josh Whedon called the black. It's terrifying. Nothing that stretches to infinity. I continued forward because I was drawn. I wandered through this void for what felt like days, but of course it was really only minutes. Then something broke the monotony. A bright light. It was the purest light, greater than anything my imagination could have ever mustered. I was convinced that this is the only thing that could have ever really pierced the oblivion. This is where I was drawn, but it wasn't the light at the end of the tunnel complex. I wasn't in a container. It was infinite like space. In the light, I finally realized that I was not alone. I was surrounded by strange objects and symbols. Words and letters of almost a million different languages swam around me. One string of English, "The sky are sick," bounced off my chest. The letters were flung everywhere. I even considered eating one. While I was distracted, the light had grown. Something was headed towards me. But it was the strangest thing, a ship. But it wasn't a spaceship per se. It was no spaceship like I'd ever seen in Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica. And goodness knows I've watched a ton of those. It looked just like an old sailboat. The only thing remotely space-age about it was the pulsating pyramid, where the top shells should have been, and a matching pyramid on the bottom. The damn thing was even flying the Jolly Roger. I was suddenly hit with a feeling of dread. I didn't want that ship catching up